Hello everybody, this is Dr. Bob DiMaria with another episode of Ask Dr. Bob. We have some phenomenal first-time questions. Here's an individual that drives truck 5 days a week, stays in hotels 4 nights a week, and wants to know what they can do to eat better. So I want you to know something. I take food with me when I travel. So if you're driving a truck, more than likely you could either get a device that you could plug into your igniter there where you do for your 12 volt and have a cooler and you could carry food and not have an issue at all. Or I know for sure you could take an ice cooler and for at least 2 days, like I would take, Dr. Bob's swap bag. You could take some other type of vegetables with you, any kind of leftovers with you. So if you can't do that, then look for a health food store. So we'll go to our favorite city and just put a search in for some type of national chain, and we always get food. Just got to think ahead. Hard-boiled eggs will last for 2 or 3 days without a problem. And I usually take a hard-boiled egg and some nuts with me. So, great question. Now this individual next had a low TSH and a normal T3 and T4, and they want to know if they could take iodine. Now, if you have a low TSH, we would support pituitary function with something called cytosine PTH-PT. I'd probably still take a low dose of iodine, but you want to support pituitary, and I can support the TSH because your T4 is normal. A couple questions about the same. There's a lot of talk about folic acid and folate. So I thought I'd do some of my own investigating because I know in our practice we use folate for individuals who have a gout issue, and we use folic acid and B12 based on their blood test. But I know a lot of you read a lot of different magazine articles and literally could go ballistic with all the information. So folate and folic acid are forms of a water-soluble B vitamin. Folate occurs naturally in food, and folic acid, they say, is the synthetic form of the vitamin. I just mentioned to you that we use folate in our practice for gout, folic acid for anemic issues depending on the problem. Then somebody said to me, Dr. Bob, can you talk about the methyl groups and their role in helping prevent autoimmune problems? I was just listening to a CD yesterday, and this whole methylation process is important for liver function, for the absorption of nutrients in the body, especially sulfur. So what happens in the body, in what we call in vivo, the body converts dietary folic acid to methylfolate, and that's where we have this whole MTHFR enzyme challenge that's going on. So I don't want to try to confuse anybody. We use folic acid B12 in our practice. We use that to support the CBC with a differential. We also have a product for the MTHFR. You can have that genetically tested. If you have any questions, your concerns, we could do the testing for you. This individual had a problem digesting fish capsules. Every time they take it, they get some burping. I want you to know from my experience, if you're having burping with any kind of oil, it is liver. You also mentioned that you have MS. I know from our experience that MS is commonly caused by an oil deficiency issue and maybe a need for vitamin D as in delta. Now, someone wanted to have some relief from chronic sinusitis. What we have found, peanut butter, dairy, gluten create chronic sinus challenges. And I forgot to add dairy. So it's peanut butter, dairy, gluten, sugar challenges. But if you have seasonal issues with your sinuses, it's a need for iodine. What we have learned, when the seasons change, like what's going on right now, it'll put a demand on your thyroid. We have helped chronic sinusitis with iodine supplementation. This is the last question. Dr. Bob, I had a hysterectomy complete 8 years ago. I'm 63 and 40 pounds overweight. So is too much estrogen still a problem for me due to my weight? Well, here's the situation here. You may need estrogen. I don't really know. You may consider having a saliva test to determine the estrogen in your body. As far as losing weight, you're basically going to have to just start focusing on what you're eating and eat vegetables and protein and exercise. You may consider having your thyroid tested because we all see most of the time people have a thyroid challenge, and that's going to cause a weight gain. But you know what? If you're eating food and you're not exercising, you're going to gain some weight. Get away from carbs. Get away from grains. Focus on vegetables. When I say carbs, I'm talking about grain carbs. Eat green, non-starchy vegetables and protein. Walk, drink water, have your thyroid checked. I'm Dr. Bob DeMaria with another episode of Ask Dr. Bob.